Hello world! So today we're on to lesson 182. I will be still an instant and go home. I'm grateful for this lesson. So let's read it together. This world you seem to live in is not your home. And somewhere in your mind, you know that this is true. A memory of home keeps haunting you, as if there was a place that called you to return, although you do not recognize the voice, nor what it is the voice reminds you of. Yet still you feel an alien here, from somewhere all unknown. Nothing to define that you could say with certainty you are in exile here. Just a persistent feeling, sometimes not more than a tiny throb, at other times hardly remembered, actively dismissed, but surely to return to mind again. Ooh, this is why I love this lesson so much. It reminds us that this world is not our home. And within us, whether it be this tiny or absolutely huge, we feel this memory, this calling to home that is beyond what our physical eyes can see. And so we're truly pointing to where the source of all of this is. We'll return again, surely, to the mind, Jesus reminds us. No one but knows whereof we speak. Yet some try to put by their suffering in games they play to occupy their time and keep their sadness from them. Others will deny that they are sad and do not recognize their tears at all. Still others will maintain that what we speak of is illusion, not to be considered more than but a dream. Yet who in simple honesty, without defensiveness and self-deception, would deny he understands the words we speak? Wow. Jesus is calling to us all the different ways that we distract ourselves, all the games that we play to occupy ourselves, whether it be video games or television, or true just blinders to seeing what's really going on. Our refusal to recognize that we are sad, all of these are defenses to make us think that we do not understand the words that Jesus is sharing with us. He's calling us out. We speak today for everyone who walks this world, for he is not at home. He goes uncertainly about in endless search, seeking in darkness what he cannot find, not recognizing what it is he seeks. 1,000 homes he makes, yet none contents his restless mind. He does not understand he builds in vain. The home he seeks cannot be made by him. There is no substitute for heaven. All he ever made was hell. Doesn't matter how many homes we live in this world and where it might be in this world, the home we truly seek is not made by us. The home we truly seek is made by God, and that is heaven. For all man has ever made is hell. God has made heaven. Perhaps you think it is your childhood home that you would find again. The childhood of your body and its place of shelter are memory now so distorted that you merely hold a picture of a past that never happened. Yet there is a child in you who seeks his father's house and knows that he is alien here. This childhood is eternal, with an innocence that will endure forever. Where this child shall go is holy ground. It is his holiness that lights up heaven, and that brings to earth the pure reflection of the light above, wherein earth and heaven are joined as one. Wow! We think it is the childhood home that we are longing for. We think it is the child body that we are. And yet we are being reminded that the child whom really seeks his father's house is the one that knows he is alien here to this world. Because this childhood is that of the eternal and of the innocence. And that is truly the holiness of that which we are, that lights up heaven here on earth. So what child are we, right? It is this child in you your Father knows as his own son. It is this child who knows his Father. He desires to go home so deeply, so unceasingly. His voice cries unto you to let him rest a while. The yearning of the soul. He does not ask for more than just a few instants of respite, just an interval in which he can return to breathe again the holy air that fills his Father's house. You are his home as well. He will return. But give him a little time to be himself within the peace that is his home, resting in stillness and in peace and in love. Just give a moment to rest in silence and in peace and in love. This child needs your protection. This holy child needs your protection. He is far from home. He is so little that he seems so easily shut out. His tiny voice so readily obscured. His call for help almost unheard amid the granting sounds and harsh and rasping noises of the world. Yet does he know that in you still abides his sure protection? You will fail him not. He will go home, and you along with him. The child of God, the child of innocence, will go home, and you with him, for that is what you are. This child is your defenselessness, your strength, your defenselessness and your strength. He trusts in you. He came because he knew you would not fail. He whispers of his home unceasingly to you. For he would bring you back with him, that he himself might stay and not return again where he does not belong and where he lives an outcast in a world of alien thoughts. His patience has no limits. He will wait until you hear his gentle voice within you, calling you to let him go in peace along with you to where he is at home and you with him. This little child is the strength and our defenselessness. It is the Christ in us that is eternal. And so when we finally listen to the whispers of the voice within, so are we called back into peace where we are home with him, with God. When you are still an instant, when the world recedes from you, when valueless ideas cease to have value in your restless mind, then will you hear his voice. So poignantly he calls to you that you will not resist him longer. In that instant he will take you to his home, and you will stay with him in perfect stillness, silent and at peace, beyond all words, untouched by fear and doubt, sublimely certain that you are at home. When we're still an instant, the holy instant, when we truly do slip into that peace and we know we are home. But this is our choice that we are choosing. Our choice to have this experience and know that this is our reality. And it's any instant that we choose. So today, rest with him frequently today. Sink into that peace and rest in him frequently today. For he was willing to become a little child, that you might learn of him. How strong is he who comes without defenses, offering only love's messages to those who think he is their enemy. He holds the might of heaven in his hand and calls them friend and gives. Wow, I'm going to read that again. He holds the might of heaven in his hand and calls them friend and gives his strength to them, that they may see he would be a friend to them. As he gives the strength to them, they may see he would be a friend to them. The law. He asks, but they protect him, for his home is far away, and he will not return to it alone. How beautiful is this, that we protect our brothers by extending to them our innocence through defenselessness. By seeing this innocent child in our brothers, so do we see it and know it in ourselves. Christ is reborn as but a little child, each time a wanderer would leave his home. For he must learn that what he would protect is but this child, who comes defenseless, and who is protected by defenselessness. Yes. Go home with him from time to time today. You are as much alien here as he. We are as much alien here as Christ, for Christ is what we are. It is this innocent child of God. Take time today to lay aside your shield, which profits nothing, and lay down the spear and sword you raised against an enemy without existence. Lay it all down, beautiful souls. Let down the shield, let down the armor, let down the swords, let down the guns, let down the words of anger and pain. Let them down. Christ has called you friend and brother. Christ has called you friend and brother. He has even come to you to ask your help in letting him go home, completed and completely. For Christ, the Christ, Jesus, as well as the Christ, one and the same, is asking that we come to let him go home completely and completely. And as we let him, Christ, go home completely and completely, completed and completely, is how we go home too. He has come as does a little child who must beseech his father for protection and for love. He rules the universe, and yet he asks unceasingly that you return with him and take illusions as your God no more. For before we choose our home in God, we're choosing illusions as our home. This temporary mass of earth floating through space, spinning around in time and space. This is the illusion of our home. Our home is eternal and in God. And so take these illusions as your gods no more. Choosing God as our God today. And so we are reminded with further conviction here, you have not lost your innocence. You have not lost your innocence, dear child. You have not lost your innocence. It is for this you yearn. It is for this you yearn. This is your heart's desire. This is the voice you hear, and this the call which cannot be denied. The Holy Child remains with you. His home is yours. Today he gives you his defenselessness, and you accept it in exchange for all the toils of battle you have made. And now the way is open, and the journey has an end in sight at last. Be still a moment, and go home with him, and be at peace a while. Be still a moment and go home with him and be at peace a while. Innocent, holy child dwells in us. The current child that we think that we are, that has this story and this life experience here and all of the years, that is not what we are. That is not the truth about ourselves. Let that not be the story any longer. For in this now moment, can we enter into a still moment where we retreat into the space of love in God and know we have never left. We've never left heaven. We've never lost our innocence. We've never done anything wrong. And in God's forgiveness being received by our mind, we know it's true. And we can continue to see and give this innocence to all of our brothers and sisters so that we truly are and experience heaven here together and as one. And so it is, beautiful souls. I will carry this in my heart and apply it all day long. I will be still an instant and go home. I love you all.